Hey, everybody, welcome to the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and I'm joined today by Ben down San Diego way.
How?
How's it going today, Ben?
Betchin, just sweating beads down here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
For all you peoples in the cold lands, we've been having some hot weather.
it was like 92 degrees today where I'm at. Freaking ridiculous.
Of course, I think the desert is probably a portal to hell, so that's partially my explanation.
Well,
And
my
we boarded the desert, so
yeah, when I envision hell, I'm thinking a really hot desert.
at first I thought it was in hell, but then I realized it was Nebraska.
Oh, I forget the guy's name.
Friggin',
Just like right then when you were talking, you sounded like one of these guys that's on a lot of Adam Sandler movies. I can't remember his name.
not Norm Macdonald.
The guy who's always like, "Oh yeah," you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Dante something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So today, I guess we're gonna talk UFOs again because I'm thinking Battle Los Angeles.
Yeah, so I think that was an interesting episode during World War II, stateside though, that not a lot of people might be aware of.
Yeah, it was 1942, the February 24th. Hold on, let me share a screen with you. Yeah. So we're on the Wikipedia page. That's where we'll start. Battle of Los Angeles, also known as the Great Los Angeles Air Raid, is the name given by contemporary sources to a rumored attack on the continental U.S. by Imperial Japan and the subsequent anti-aircraft artillery barrage, which took place from late night 24th of February to early 25th of February 1942 over Los Angeles. The incident occurred less than 3 months after the U.S. entered World War II in response to Imperial Japanese Navy's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, and one day after the bombardment of Elwood near Santa Barbara on the 23rd of February. Yeah.
So, well, now I think February 1942. Maybe you can find the date on this, but that was the month and year of the Doolittle raid against Tokyo.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could check that out real quick because, of course, that would especially explain why coastal California would have been on such a high alert. I mean, obviously Pearl Harbor was enough, but I am very certain it was February 1942 for the Doolittle raid.
Doolittle Raid, also known as Tokyo Raid, was an air raid on 18 April 1942 by the United States on the Japanese capital of Tokyo.
Okay, April. Well, it was they were still training and in transit in February 1942, but obviously everybody was already on a high state of alert after Pearl Harbor. So
Yeah. So as soon as they picked up anything on radar, everybody freaked out. They're like, "Oh, they're doing it again."
in this, people might not be aware that the Japanese actually did attack coastal cities and on mainland America. Like they actually even tried to set Oregon and Washington on fire with basically dropping fire balloons in the dry forests.
Yep.
That Sasquatch.
That damn Sasquatch. So yeah, so they at the time the Japanese deserved everything they got.
But as for the context of this Battle of Los Angeles, this was all just within a few short months after Pearl Harbor. So people need to know what frame of mind the people were in at the time.
Yep. So, just months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, when the U.S. declared war on Japan, the sirens blared over Southern California on February 24th, 1942, around 10:30 p.m., becoming common, people took to the streets to see what was going on and to witness if it was another false alarm. Nobody could have ever possibly guessed what they were about to see in a million years. The Coast Guard and U.S. Navy got prepared for a possible attack on the sunny shores of California, preparing their anti-aircraft weapons, Navy ships, and Air Force. After getting word of a single or multiple aircraft heading for the coast, when the object became visible and was confirmed to not be a private or commercial aircraft, it became apparent that this craft was unlike anything they had seen before. It was huge and could silently hover and move at will. The Navy and Coast Guard got the go-ahead from the Secretary of the Navy, Frank Knox, and began firing at the unidentified flying object in the sky around 3 a.m. on the morning of the 25th. So from the beginning of the attack until the early morning around 4:15, the military fired over 1,400 rounds of 12.8-pound anti-aircraft artillery at the UFO. The object kept moving from Santa Monica to Long Beach and seemed to have no damage done from the barrage of shells that were fired at it.
Santa Monica and Long Beach. That's well, I guess they're kind of close to each other, but there's still some distance.
Yeah, it wouldn't take that long in the air, though. You're
That's true.
thinking about traffic.
I don't think
I don't think UFOs have to worry about LA traffic.
I don't think the 405 existed at the time, anyhow.
Are you sure? We had the interstate system in World War II, didn't we?
Well, the major expansion of it came a decade later with Eisenhower, but that was transcontinental. So
I was gonna say, because I I think, when did Hitler start his highway system? It was like in the 30s, right? When he built that that
fun
road.
fact. Fun fact: if you've ever driven the Autobahn, you drove on Hitler's roadway.
Well, we sought to copy Hitler when we built the interstate highway system.
Yeah, because it was smart.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know, but the interstate highway system was intended to transport military hardware from coast to coast quickly.
Well, yeah, mobile nuclear weapons.
Yeah,
that's why.
A lot of people, but what I'm saying is, a lot of people think it was built for us to use, but it wasn't. It was built for the military.
Yeah, no, exactly. It was meant to more easily transport mobile nuclear weapons. That's why the overpasses are a certain height, so the trucks carrying the concealed nuclear weapons could more easily transport them.
Yeah.
Which would suck, obviously, if they're going through Oklahoma at the wrong time of year and a friggin' tornado took that truck out.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first or last time that a nuke's gone missing. It happens. Trust me, it does.
So approximately how long was this Battle of Los Angeles?
Well, they opened fire at 3 a.m. and I think it was over by 4:15. Because this is the next time right here. So an hour and 15 minutes.
1,400. How much? They said
1,400 rounds of 12.8-pound anti-aircraft artillery.
Okay. That's crazy. Like,
and for those of you that don't know, that's a big gun. That's a pretty big gun. 12.8-pound shells.
That's crazy, because I have to assume that, obviously, that part of the country wasn't nearly as developed as it is now, which is just overdeveloped now.
Hey, how heavy were the Civil War cannon rounds, the shells? They're like 9-pounders?
They had siege guns, like obviously at the Siege of Petersburg, they had these colossal siege guns, which were lobbing like enormous shells. We're not just talking about like what do you call them, like the parrots or something, the howitzers,
parrot rifles or whatever they call them.
And the howitzers. I forget what they call the siege guns, but they were umpteen times larger than
Yeah, but what
like
about your average field artillery back then? Isn't it like a 9 or 12 pounder, something like that?
something like that. Yeah, nothing like obviously because a regular man was just picking up the round, shoving it in the barrel, and then ramming it, ramrodding it down. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like taking a whole team of horses to lift it.
Took a whole team of horses to move those guns around, though.
It's true, light artillery, man. That's yeah. This guy. Well, I'm just curious. 1,400 rounds of this ammunition. What would that be per round? Like, how heavy was it?
12.8 pound
Oh shoot. Okay.
per
I'm
round.
just I'm just curious about the damage from that because obviously they're aiming high at an object they claim to have seen. But didn't the papers say they were firing at nothing, or it was a drill or a mistake?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said that that it was a balloon or something, and they didn't know, and they started shooting at it.
Wait, it was a balloon that refracted like gaslight or something from
Oh,
the
we'll get into this. There's a picture of it. There's a picture of it down this page a little bit, and you can clearly see a saucer shape in the picture. So anyway, there were thousands of witnesses, including very credible reports from every newspaper in the area that saw the UFO up close and personal. Later, after all was calm, the U.S. military reported that it must have just been a weather balloon. The extremely odd thing about that is all of the witnesses stated that it was clearly not a weather balloon, but a large circular object that was being maneuvered in ways that no balloon or even aircraft of that time could have. Also, after firing 1,400 rounds at the UFO of these 12.8 pound anti aircraft artillery shells, the at the UFO, it continued to move along unscathed. If our military couldn't have brought down a weather balloon, then we never would have won the war, or any war for that matter.
So some are claiming that it was a weather balloon, and then didn't.
That was what the military brass was claiming.
Of course, of course. Yeah, that's nonsense. Like, obviously, we wouldn't even be able to protect ourselves against zeros then.
Like anytime you hear the government use the weather balloon or the swamp gas excuse, you know they're covering something up.
I think it really gets old. It really does. But I think they just know like there's a certain large percentage of the population that will just go along with it immediately because I got bills to pay. I can't think about no silly aliens.
Yeah, I got my retirement pension to think about.
I think about that all the time, and it's like, damn, the British could have just won the war by promising people pensions or something, because
Right?
most people would have been lazy asses and just accepted it.
Well, they used to do that all the time anyway. They'd be like, "Do this for me, and you'll be granted land and title and all this other crap."
Tell me about Ohio.
I mean, yeah, I mean, basically, the British did that all the time
Well,
because
that's what I'm saying.
land and title, like with the British government, if you had land and title, you got income from that land and title. So,
Peerages.
but basically, that is a retirement.
Yeah.
We'll send you off to pasture when we're done with you.
Yes. I want to go to Montana.
Oh, Montana. You'll come to find Sean Connery pretty quick yourself.
Sean Connery and John Neal wanted to go to Montana.
You'll rue the day you crossed me, Trebek.
Damn you and your deadly double, you brigand.
So,
damn you and your swamp gas, you brigand.
I'll take the penis mightier for 500. That is, the pen is mightier. Doctor it up any way you like, Trebek. The question is, does it work?
We'll take the weather balloon lie for 1,000.
It's not a product. You're sitting on a gold mine, Trebek. All right. Anyway,
The weather balloon. Weather balloon was that the first time they used that excuse ever?
sea is foamy. You have wandered way off course.
No, we're getting back to. You can't use that. You should have used that like a minute ago.
Right? I'm a little late on the buttons today.
It's all right. It's late. But so this must have been one of the first times they used a weather balloon lie
Um, wait, when was the Roswell crash? That was in
then. That
47?
was after the war. That was like what, 46, 47?
I think it was 47. So this must have been the first time they used the weather balloon excuse.
Damn. That's lame.
All right, so with all of the evidence in the Battle of LA case, it clearly points to nothing man-made, either US or Japanese. With all of the witnesses that saw the UFO and the unbelievable amount of artillery fired at the object without even touching it, it's very clear that we were dealing with one of the first multiple person UFO sightings in the USA. And here's the picture I was talking about. On this picture, you see all the spotlights converging on that one sector, and right here all around it, you can see the artillery shells, the flak guns just, exploding up there. That's what these are, these lights, these little round lights. And right there in the middle, you clearly see a saucer shape, and then you see its little passenger dome on top. You can clearly see it. That is not a balloon.
No.
Like, you can look, Ben, like, because you weren't sitting here when I was explaining it.
No, I'm
You
just hearing
see,
you about
you
it.
can see, you can see all the artillery exploding up here. You
In
see
the
that?
explosion.
You see all the searchlights converging on this one spot. Now there's clearly something here in the middle reflecting light.
Yeah.
It's a saucer. You can see this saucer shape right here. And then you see this little passenger dome on top. Your classic flying saucer. Right there. Los Angeles, California, 1942, February 25th.
Yeah, I mean, and especially occurring in such a populated area too, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and this incident caused 5 deaths. 3 deaths were due to car accidents, and 2 deaths were due to heart attacks.
I'm surprised none of it was from like falling ordnance.
Oh, they did find they did go around cleaning up a lot of UXOs afterwards. So that's pretty much the whole thing. I mean,
That's where the picture was extracted from.
yeah, I mean, this is I I might be mistaken here, but this picture is taken right out of the LA Times, if I remember right.
Well, that was still the paper of note even at that time. So
I thought that was the New York Slimes.
I'm talking about for Los Angeles.
The toilet paper record.
A periodical of note, to quote Gangs in New York.
Oh man.
Ghoul gang kills. No, ghoul gang slaughters.
Oh man. I'm telling you. I'm just ready for It's been a rough day, man. Been a rough day today. So I take my car, right? I take my car to AutoZone to go get parts for my truck. I go down there, get my parts, come out to the car, and the car won't start.
Aliens.
Yeah, so it's been a bad day.
Happens to the best of us.
So tomorrow I got to go pick up the parts for my car because I ordered them, and then gonna spend all day tomorrow trying to fix my car, and then all day Monday working on my truck. Got to get at least one of them going.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, what have you got, Ben? You got any recent sightings?
Well, I think we had just been discussing before the start of the show about a Brazil sighting. Do we want to talk about that?
Oh, wait, where did I see that? Brazil. Um, oh, where was it? I'm looking for it right now.
Maybe they were coming to see Bolsonaro.
I don't think it was a UFO. I think it actually was a meteor. It was probably just a meteor mostly made of metal.
Could be.
Probably just got hot enough to melt it, whatever type of metal it was. Crap. I'm not going to be able to find it.
There were some other actual recent sightings, though, like either in America or Latin America. Like, I feel like this has been occurring with some frequency as of late.
It has. Yeah, it's there's been a lot going on.
Especially with everything in like, who knows, maybe this whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, not to get political in the alien show, but maybe that's just the kickoff of some like wider supernatural event beyond those two countries.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's kind of interesting though because there have been reports in the past, and I can't find the video that I saw of that, but um, regarding the Brazil meteorite UFO slash molten ball of bullshit they dug out of the ground after it cooled off. There's been lots of reports of people who've seen UFOs that report literally like molten metal slag just dripping on the ground like in areas where they've seen them.
Wild.
Like I don't remember, there was one guy that was talking about he found that shit in his driveway like right after he watched a UFO fly over his house.
Wild.
And then there was another story about a guy who was fishing in a canoe, and he was out fishing and he seen the UFO go over, and this shit, it was dripping out of the UFO, whatever happened. And I guess a piece of it hit his dog, killed his dog, because his dog was out there on the canoe with him.
Well, let's try to find some stuff on this melting slag. Yeah, maybe there's something there.
Yeah, maybe. Problem is, I should have done this before we started.
That one. Okay, I'll just. You can't see me now, but I'll just look up some stuff.
Molten
Well.
slag UFO,
Sightings.
the Maury Island incident. What is that?
So check it. Here's something out of Mansfield, Ohio, and this is from Mansfield News Journal. They're saying last year, and again, maybe with everything going on, these kind of sightings are just going to increase. But last year, there were over 200 UFO sightings reported in Ohio alone. Retired military personnel becoming more vocal about the phenomena. And this was just posted 17 hours ago, so this is like super recent. Yeah, so reports of UFO visits to north central Ohio, and I guarantee you look at other areas, it's going to have similar stories. But they have increased in the nearly 50 years since one of the world's most believable encounters was documented above Mansfield by a military helicopter crew. Ohio ranks number 8 among states for UFO sightings out of the whole country, and that's with nearly 4,111 sightings. So Ohio 200 just last year.
Well, Southern California, I think, is one of the most active areas in the country. Southern
That one's
California,
surprising.
Arizona, and obviously Nevada and New Mexico, like this whole southwest U.S. It's all
Unsurprisingly, Florida ranks second for most UFO sightings, and we can't blame that all on Florida Man, even though I'm sure a lot of that is Florida Man. But because of Cape Canaveral, I'm sure that is of interest to
yeah, but
extraterrestrial beings.
nobody talks about the California man. I mean, we had California man in
The
a
California hombre.
dude was in a friggin' jetpack flying over LAX. Like they caught him like 3 times. He keeps getting arrested and he keeps going back.
Well, in San Diego also had Tank Man.
Was that San Diego? The
Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Yeah.
yeah. And then what about the Killdozer? Where was that?
Kilda, I think that was like Midwest or something.
Yeah, he was mad because there was some was it the government was trying to take his business? His land
Yeah.
where his business was on and he got mad about it.
Yeah. But Outforia, a website dedicated to coverage of the outdoors, so lists Florida at 7,513 documented UFO sightings, and coming in at number one is California with 15,000 sightings.
Yeah.
And of course, but with Florida, and I don't know, maybe this is just where we just discuss maybe we can discuss why all this is going on in just recent years. But Florida had a famous 2015 incident with the U.S. Navy's unexplained aerial phenomena, UAPs, recorded on video and released in 2017. And I believe that involved like a close encounter with one of the destroyers or frigates, one of the two. It was a smaller ship, though. It wasn't like an aircraft carrier. So that occurred in Florida. And the thing is, there has been an increased number of like they're like pilots, military pilots, airline pilots, all coming out to talk about this. This guy was a commander in 05, Dave Fravor, and lieutenant commander in 04, Alex Dietrich. They witnessed an incident seen from aircraft flying from the USS Nimitz in November 2004. They were training on FA-18 Foxtrot planes about 100 miles southwest of San Diego, and they and two other pilots were asked to investigate reports of multiple anomalous aerial vehicles over the horizon that were descending 80,000 feet in less than a second. And he said it was this Dietrich and Faber both described it as a white tic tac like object about the size of a Boeing 737. So, I mean, you just see dozens of these stories. So, California, number one with the UFO sightings, Florida man coming in at number two with,
Yeah.
like 2,500. But there's just these stories everywhere, and it seems like it's exploded just in the last few years. That's my perception.
Yeah, it has. So
Which makes me wonder, is something coming to a head? I don't know. I don't know if anyone's had any predictions on what going on.
I don't know, man. I think maybe we're being desensitized. They're just kind of easing their way in.
That's what it feels like, because I know a lot of people treated that Pentagon report as like a nothing burger about the UFOs or the UAPs. What was that, June 2021? But it's like they still admitted that they can't identify the vast majority of unidentified flying objects. Like they couldn't just say, oh, that so at least apparently they're dropping the weather balloon bullshit now and just going more towards, oh, we don't know, which actually is believable that they might not know something. But
yeah, I don't know. I think I think they know they know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, I'm more prone to believe that. So yeah, I have to agree with you because it seems like there's this slow drip because you see it throughout the media, whereas years ago this would have just been confined to like what's that garbage rag, and you see it like grocery stores, like
The
the,
Inquirer, or there's a few other ones. I don't remember what they are though. The
years ago
Inquirer comes to mind.
this all would have just been confined to the Inquirer, and now you're seeing it in what is deemed mainstream news sources, both television and print. So it's wild. It's like they're being directed to start gradually discussing these stories more.
Well, I'm starting to think that the Inquirer is actually more legitimate than people think.
We all learned that and with the first Men in Black movie.
Yeah, well, we learned it with that movie Conspiracy Theorist with Mel Gibson too.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that one.
Remember he had like his house like wallpapered with articles from the Inquirer and other magazines and newspapers like that.
I'll have to watch that again. Yeah, I remember Men in Black where it's like that was actually the reliable news source.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the what's his face, Tommy Lee Jones coming out of a coma after like 40 years was one of the stories.
Oh no, that was wasn't that that was Men in Black 2, right? When he came out of the
No,
coma.
because remember he.
The first one, Tommy Lee Jones recruits Will Smith.
Well,
And
yeah, but at the end of the
second,
movie,
yeah, they erase his memory at the end of the first movie.
yeah, that's what I mean. So then there was an Inquirer news article about man comes out of coma after 30 plus years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. And then in the second movie, Will Smith recruits Tommy Lee Jones to come back,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, he's working at a post office in Massachusetts, and everyone's an alien except for Tommy Lee Jones.
He's like, no, Tom. He's like he's like, no, guy. He's like, look. He's like, we're taking my car. See, your car over there, that's the old and busted. He's like, this is the new hotness. Old busted, new hotness. Get in.
I never watched much of the second one. I like the first one and I like the third one with Josh Brolin. But
I don't think I ever saw the third one.
third one's good. That has to do with Cape Canaveral. But yeah, regardless, yeah, you're just seeing this. I agree. You're seeing this slow drip, which has me thinking it's a coordinated strategy, like you said, to desensitize people. So when maybe they finally break it out, it's like, oh, we've been expecting this. Like is that mass formation psychosis? Is that what that would be?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't see any difference really. You get the media pushing a lie, and they push it and push it and push it until it becomes the truth.
So yeah, now they're like pushing UFOs out, or maybe I mean I guess on the alternate end, the UFO thing
What
could
was
also be
what was the name of Hitler's propaganda minister? Goebbels, right?
verbal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was right out of his playbook. You tell a lie and you keep telling it until it becomes truth.
Yeah, I guess there's either one or two possibilities. One, they're doing this slow drip through a mainstream publicist I'm not going to call them news. I'm going to call them publicists. Mainstream publicist organizations,
Mainstream propagandist organizations,
MPOs, or they're
PAO.
not they're fake and it's just distractions from everything else that's going on. So
I'd rather
I
get
guess
I'd rather get my information from PAO twat waffle. The public affairs officer on record. Oh my god. So what's the fuck, I'm trying to remember. You know what? Let's just see here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't like YouTube anymore.
Dun, 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 dun,
Wait,
dun.
Pentagon's UFO investigation spotlighted in new photos and video. This is friggin'. Why do I only get like mainstream media sources when I do a YouTube search for UFOs?
Do DuckDuckGo. Do their video search.
They have a video search?
Yeah. Everybody knows that Bing sucks, so don't use Bing, but DuckDuckGo is actually pretty decent for the videos. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. The hell? Navy spots pyramid shaped UFOs on video. Pentagon confirms 11 months ago. These are
We don't know what it is.
YouTube videos, though. They're all YouTube videos. Best UFO sightings of 2021. All right, so since we're done with Battle LA, let's move into a little fact or faked. How's that sound?
Yeah.
And
let's do it.
anorexic or obese? All right, let's see here. Let's do
Dun, 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 dun,
best
dun.
UFO sightings of 2021. Let's roll with that one. Hold on, meow.
Come on now.
All right, so that's up, that's up. Turn on some sound here. Although we probably won't need it. Blow this up a little.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna say that's fake immediately.
No, it's right there. It's not this down in the corner.
I was looking at that icon and right in front of me.
You know what? We probably don't need sound. Those lights are definitely real. No telling what they are, though. They don't appear to be moving.
So it could be hovering.
Those could be helicopters for all you know. Now that
Well, let's see how it interacts with the sky.
I don't see a tail on it. It doesn't have a, what do you call that part of the plane that goes up in the back?
The fin?
Yeah, I don't know what they call it.
The tail?
All right, well, that last one, though. This one, that's actually a good stop. Where's it at? Yeah, I ruined the good stop. Damn it. Right there.
Maybe that. Do you
It's
think that
just
could
flat.
you think that could be a tic tac shape?
Yeah. Cigar shaped tic tac or a flying saucer. I
That's
mean,
what
really, if you think about it, the flying saucer, when viewed from the side, is going to look like a tic tac.
That's true.
If it turns this way, it's going to be round, and then when it goes this way, it's going to be flat, like a tic
It
tac.
goes from a tic tac to a waffle.
Yep, pretty much. That one's fit with high cholesterol.
Yeah, that deserves more scrutiny.
A little more scrutiny. Damn, it took off quick though. It turned and went like away from the camera. It was moving parallel, then it took off away from the guy with the camera.
Immediate turn on a dime.
Yep. Now that appears to be out over the ocean. That's interesting. Hmm.
Well, that,
Series of lights, one big one and about
well, that looks like a
5
star.
small
But
ones.
one
Oh.
looks like a star. So the other, that would be 4 vehicles or 4 kind of craft. And that
Or
must be the
one cloaked big craft.
yeah, like that. Like that one, that light blue one looks like a star.
See, what's weird is that you got the big one here, and then you got 3 smaller ones in a triangle formation.
So either they're smaller or they're just at a greater distance.
That could be the case too. You know, it's funny. Even in this format of video, this tiny little section of visualness, you can still see the curvature of the Earth on the horizon. I
Yeah.
see a slight curve here. The Earth is not flat, people.
So
Get it through your heads.
two birds with one stone. All right. Do they do anything?
Doubt it.
That damn Sasquatch.
Oh,
Well, look at that. There's a
you can
plane
see
right
a
ahead.
plane right here. These things are obviously just stationary. They're not moving at all. Hey, it's like the same thing from the last video.
Okay.
This is over San Antonio, Texas in October 2021.
Dome.
Oh, this is they give the MUFON case files too
Oh, crazy.
on the bottom. Sweet. You know what? I really wish when people record these things that they wouldn't zoom in like that.
Well, no, it seems like it just keeps getting blurry every time it apparently turns, so that's kind of weird.
Oh, it's because the guy's zooming the camera. The camera's losing focus because he's zooming in. Now the camera can't focus. There you go. Zoom out so we can see better. Oh, damn. What do we got here? Cylinder-shaped UFO caught on Brazil. Urgent news.
Aten cowl. Or however. I'm not good with Portuguese.
Over Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, man.
Ooh. That could be a plane. Could be a plane. I don't know, though. It's kind of blurry. UFO flies next to plane during live stream. Now, that is a very clear picture of a plane. Where's the UFO? Where is it? I see
Come
it
on.
clear. Where is
Come
it?
on.
Oh, really?
Probably not.
That was anorexic.
Yeah, that starved to death.
Meteor. Meteor. That was a meteor. This one's also in Brazil. Same city.
The Sao Paulo's huge, so a lot of.
Now that's interesting. It's dropping others out of it. You see that? Wait a minute.
Let's go back to that.
Now watch this one on the bottom. When he zooms in. Watch, it's gonna drop another one out of the bottom of it. See?
Yeah. Either it emerged from behind it or it came out from it.
Interesting.
Maybe like a smaller shuttle, sort of like the shuttle Tidarian.
Blue lights, UFO seen near Fagradalsfjall.
It's Icelandic. You'll never pronounce it. I won't pronounce it. We invite Icelanders to who are watching to correct us.
Do they still speak like Old Norse or something?
That's basically what it is. It's just modern Norse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that Viking talk.
It must sound very guttural with like a, a giant bearded, deep voice saying it.
You're supposed to take a swig of mead every time you speak.
Yeah, that's interesting. The blue lights right there, they're just hanging out next to the volcano.
It looks like something emerged from it. Go back because it looks like it emitted something.
Dang it. Yeah, see, they're right there. Watch. It moves closer. It's behind the smoke. The smoke doesn't seem to affect its picture in the camera at all. See what I'm saying? These thick plumes of smoke go past it and it doesn't get any dimmer.
Do you think that's could be an overlay then?
Could be. Go back and look at that one more time. Oops. Too far. So it's this thing right here, and then this one comes in later. This thing's just hanging out.
So hovering, right?
Yeah. But look, you see the smoke going past it?
Yeah. So either they're in front of the smoke or it's just overlaid over the image.
Or it's just extremely bright. All right, well, what do we got here?
Bulgaria, or they smell like soup.
You are hairy like animals.
That's a standard Eastern European man for you.
Yep.
My name is
any European men, really.
Especially Eastern Europeans are famously swarthy.
San Jose, California, this one.
In Jersey.
Where's the UFO? Oh, up there on the top.
At the top of the screen.
Yeah, that one's anorexic because I didn't see anything.
Okay, I mean, all right, there it is.
How come in America we get the shittiest cameras? All the awesome videos are from overseas somewhere.
San Jose's in the heart of Silicon Valley. I think that's where the Google campus is at, in San Jose.
That's a guy in a jetpack.
Markville, California.
That's a guy in a jetpack.
Maybe that's a.
You want to go back to that one?
Yeah.
Watch how it moves. It almost looks like. Look, is that? It's not very big, whatever it is. You see the trees down here in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it's obviously in front of the mountain, so it's not that far away. Yeah, that last one. I'm going to say that's a guy in a jetpack or one of those like helicopter suits. You know what I mean?
The Rocketeer.
Oh, not even the rockets. Like you seen the suits with like the props on it? You know what I'm talking about? They got like helicopter blades.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe one of those. Yeah, another one that's almost exactly the same as two others before this one. That's definitely a disc. Like God's throwing frisbees again.
Like, where would they be getting that? Because that's clearly above the object, allegedly. Like, where would they be getting that footage from? Like, from a satellite? Like, where are they getting that from?
I don't know. Maybe someone flying in another plane.
Could be.
The hell is this mysterious tower of light hovers like a UFO in the sky? Wanna check this one out?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see this.
You are hairy like animals.
Oh man. It's all... Now that's interesting. Is that actually a tower?
New York Post.
Where is this? Mysterious UFO in the sky. It doesn't give a location. Is that China? Looks like Chinese writing and then it says Expo.
Yeah, looks like Chinese script.
Hmm.
Mysterious tower of light hovers like a UFO in the sky.
That looks like a tower right there. See that?
Yeah,
This would be interesting enough, but what the hell is this? There's no other tall buildings anywhere around it.
that's true. Hmm.
And it's definitely not vertical. It does have kind of a slant to it.
The leaning
Interesting.
tower of Beijing.
Hmm.
Right. Does it do anything?
No, I don't think it does. It is interesting to look at though.
Yeah, and it looks like someone was making some like robot graphic of a robot.
Navy ships capture video of pyramid. Oh, let's check this out then. It's in night vision. Come on, where's full screen? Oh, you better load.
You know what's good for you.
I see a light. I didn't see a pyramid.
Disappeared in the cloud. Okay.
Oh,
Yep, you can kind
why has it got blinking lights on it? That's a human craft. Only a human craft would have blinking lights on it.
why wouldn't an alien craft have blinking lights on it?
Because none of them do. Only human aircraft do. What do they call those? The navigation lights or something?
Yeah.
Something like
Well,
that.
it's concealing itself.
Well, we have the TR-3B. The TR-3B is a triangular shaped craft, so that's a human.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of UFOs are going to be human made. Yeah. It's not all alien per se.
New UFO sighting in Florida, March 21st, 2021. Check that one out. Florida.
Lord man.
Something right there hovering, whatever that is, up there in the sky. Looks like an overgrown California as far as the vegetation goes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely flat, whatever it is. It's not moving very quickly in any direction. Interesting. Just once, I want to see one of these UFOs fire a death ray.
Soon, very soon.
Soon. Hopefully not at me, but
There
soon.
was a great meme that I saw on some site where it's like someone was actually trying to bribe an alien to abduct him. It's like, I will literally pay you to abduct me off this planet.
Yeah, I will pay passage. Take me to your leader. So I think we beat this dead horse enough, haven't we?
Yeah, well, basically most of those were anorexic.
Most of them were. There were a few mildly fat ones, but yep.
But I mean, there are like people can find them, like we were discussing, in major mainstream publications about talking about military personnel, retired especially, who've seen unexplainable aircraft. or spacecraft potentially. I mean, obviously they're interacting with them in our, in our atmosphere. So I guess aircraft is an appropriate term because we don't know if they were in space or not.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
This is gonna fly here. So yeah, I think obviously these tons of pilots need to be given some level of credence. I don't know why unless they're trying to market themselves. I don't know what they gain by going to some like newspapers like, yeah, I saw, unless it's like, yeah, I saw something, they'll give me money like, for millions of dollars.
Yeah, and
Otherwise,
Joe Rogan interviewed a couple of these pilots that have spotted these things in the past.
good. That'd be something worth listening to.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
remember. I don't remember which episode it is, but look up if you want to see it or listen to it. Look up the Joe Rogan podcast interviews Navy with the Navy pilots, because he interviewed the Navy pilot that took that video that was declassified supposedly,
Right.
where the Pentagon acknowledged that yes, it was a UFO. Then they don't know what it is. But
Wild.
before that, though, this pilot was literally forbidden from talking about it. He was not allowed to talk about it at all.
Of course, NDAs and national security and all that crap. OPSEC.
How's it operational security? If there's friggin' alien friggin' aircraft flying all over the place. I think everybody should be aware of that.
Well, exactly. They don't want people panicking, which
Okay.
if our theory is correct, then that's why we suddenly have all this slow drip so they can, make people more amenable to the idea of if you
Let me
just
ask you this, Ben. If the government came out tomorrow and said, aliens exist, they're here, we've been dealing with them for, going on damn near a century, and they're never leaving, they live amongst us and you don't know, would you panic?
No, that'd be pretty bitchin'.
See, and I think the majority of people are like that, except for maybe in the Middle East. I don't think they'd appreciate it very much. But
You want to make a fix for this alien? Then no, I know that
he'd be like, Durka Durka, holy war.
alien like whoop.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty rocking. But obviously we don't know. Maybe we know what like technology they have because maybe they're just trying to figure out how we can protect ourselves. I don't know.
Hey, as long as they're friendly, I don't give a shit. So
That's true. Just apply Adam Smith's principle of capitalism, but on an interstellar level.
yeah,
Like,
why
'cause,
not? We'll be
we'll be-
wealthier than we've ever been.
the invisible hand of the market is supposed to create peace between nations. So
Our
Maybe
podcast, our podcast will go intergalactic.
So, when were you born?
Hey, so yeah. So Zerlock from Planet Zorg will be listening to our podcast.
We've had our first. What were some galaxies? Shit.
Klaxar and Plaxar be hanging out on their friggin' spacecraft listening to us.
We've had our first Plutonian chime in. Download from Pluto.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's living on Pluto. Just
Probably
a big
not.
ball of ice. That's all it is.
All right, so it's Hoth. So we could put a base on Hoth.
Yeah. It'd be like a snow globe. That's what the friggin' Pluto's like.
That'd be bitchin'. I'd go there. I love it.
Yeah, if you like a snow globe that's like where the temperature is absolute zero. Where if any exposed skin will freeze in seconds. And then with no atmospheric pressure, you'll blister up first. Your skin will blister up and then you'll freeze. Then it'll freeze. So you'll be this grotesque, deformed human being, all friggin' blistered up, frozen solid.
Sounds delightful.
A lot of people don't know atmospheric pressure plays a big part in your survival. If you had no atmospheric, even if you had air to breathe, if there was no pressure pushing in on you, it could be damaging.
I mean, they would just obviously design suits to be suitable for these planets.
Yeah, no, we'd have to have biodomes. You ever see that movie Biodome with Pauly Shore?
Nope, because I've never liked Pauly Shore. Didn't like him in the '90s. Don't like him now.
No, I mean, he is an idiot, but who cares? I thought that movie was funny though.
That was the same time period with Chris Kattan too. Another horrible person.
He called weed purple sticky punch.
One of the most punchable faces in the galaxy.
Right? The movie In the Army Now, Pauly Shore.
Yeah, him and
I don't.
Chris Kattan should just get a room.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know the other guy's name.
Wasn't Brendan Fraser in Biodome?
I don't think so.
No, not Brendan Fraser.
No, it was another guy. I don't remember. Anyway, so I think we've neared the end of this.
I think the most believable thing we've discussed tonight is Battle of Los Angeles, not just being a stupid balloon.
Yeah, and we showed the picture. There's clearly a large object there in the sky that they're all focusing their spotlights on.
So if you ever hear the government talk about weather balloons or swamp gas, they're covering something up.
Yeah, it's swamp gas refracting the light from Venus. You saw the planet of Venus at ground level because it was being reflected off of swamp gas. Yeah, I didn't know swamp gas could magnify a pinprick of light in the sky to the point where you think it's an object really close to you.
The more you know.
Yeah, some of these explanations for UFO sightings are just fucking ridiculous.
Well, again, they know a substantial percentage of people are just going to move on with their lives very quickly because they're just trying to survive paycheck to paycheck, so nothing really matters. And then drink beer and watch a sports game.
Well, I'm gonna
Which
move
I
on
do
with
that.
my life too, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's still interesting to ponder these things. But I mean, when they literally just move, there's a great line from Michael Moore's movie Canadian Bacon, which involved a Cold War between Canada and America.
Mhm.
And one of the villains in the movie said, "The American people's attention span is about as long as your dick."
Some men are longer than others.
That's true, but he was talking to a guy with a short dick. That was the reason for the comment.
Hey, having a baby dick is like a disability, man. Would you push a guy with glasses, huh?
20% from the VA, man.
You know, that movie Scary. I think it was Scary Movie. Somebody put a picture of his dick all over the fucking locker room. it's like, and he's like, oh, he's like, what? Who did this? He's like, having a baby dick is like a disability. Would you make fun of a guy with glasses?
Well, that's what most people's attention spans are, baby dick.
Yeah, yeah.
They just think about Ghostbusters, man. I mean, the second movie, like literally everyone in New York saw the frigging marshmallow, destroying the city. But then in the next movie, it's like Ghostbusters are trash now because of some bullshit bankruptcy issue, and no one believes them anymore, even though they literally all saw it. But guess what? They're just trying to live their lives and pay their bills, and they don't give a shit that they saw a giant marshmallow man destroying Manhattan.
When they blew him up out there, I would have friggin' been out there making peanut butter marshmallow sandwiches.
Fluffernutters.
Fuck yeah. I think they used to call those freedom sandwiches too.
Yeah, that was strictly a New England invention too. What
Yeah.
up?
I tried to tell my girlfriend about those, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "I never heard of that."
Yeah, because it's the greatest invention we ever came up with. Right, I gotta charge up real quick, so close this out.
All right. So if you want to hit us up, comment, whatever. We're on Instagram at SBBpod. You hit us up on the DMs. The email is supernaturalbeerbros@gmail.com. We're on YouTube. You can drop a comment or whatever. And I think that's about it. So this has been the Supernatural Beer Bros podcast, and we are signing out.